Hey everybody, so it is a new month, so you all know what that means. I'm here to do my February wrap-up, so let's get on with it. For the month of February, I made a goal to read 9 books, which I met. I read a total of 9, although from the list that I have in my TBR from last time, I only read about 4 from that actual list. I think from now on with my TBRs, I'm just gonna list like 4, maybe 5 books that I definitely want to get to that month, and then for the rest of it I will, just pick up whatever tickles my fancy and go from there. Well, let's get on with the wrap-up. For the books that I read, I'm going to go in order from what I read at the beginning of the month through the end of the month in order. So the first book that I read in February, The Devouring by Simon Holt. I gave this book a 3.5 stars. I really enjoyed it, but it was a YA horror book, and I'm not that into the scary genre. There are exceptions. I wasn't expecting that when I picked up this book. I didn't know that that's what it was, but the storyline was really good, and I did enjoy the ending, and I did already borrow the second book from the library, so obviously I want to continue the series, but it still took me a little bit of time to read through it. The second book that I read for the month is Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion, and I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed this book, but it did take me a good maybe 1/4 of the book to actually get into it. Once I really enjoyed it. Tabbed some of my favorite quotes in here. And I'm super excited to see the movie. Cannot wait. Haven't seen it yet. Was waiting to read the book first, and now that I have, I will definitely go see that. The third book for the month I read was The Last Dragon Slayer by Jasper Fforde, and I gave this book 3.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed this book, although this is a book that I attempted to read in January that I got maybe halfway through and then put down because the storyline was good, but it just wasn't catching me, and so I just picked it up so that I could finish it this month, and the ending is really good. I definitely want to read the next one, but since it did take me such a long time to get into it, I gave it a lower rating. The next one I read was Sophie Kinsilla's I've Got Your Number. I'm just going to say I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. It was wonderful. It is a funny, comedic romance, and it is so good. This is the first Sophie Kinsella book I've read, and I love her writing style. I'm not going to say too much more about it because I have a review, which I will link down below, that you can go watch if you want. If you haven't read any of her books, go check them out. The next one I read is a continuation for a series, City of Glass by Cassandra Clare, and this is the 3rd book in the Mortal Instruments series, and I loved this book. I gave it a rating of 5 out of 5 stars. It was amazing, and it was a really thick book, but I still flew through it because it was so good, and I'm really sad that I went through it too quickly. I've heard mixed things about the next book, so I was trying to take my time with this one. It was just too good and I couldn't put it down. The next one I read on Valentine's Day, Meant to Be by Lauren Morrill, and I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. I loved this book. It really reminded me of Stephanie Perkins' work. So if you like Anna and the French Kiss or Lola and the Boy Next Door, this is really reminiscent of that. Her writing style is really good too. Go read this. The next one I read, Storm by Bridget Kemmerer, and this one I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. This one was a really good read. I really liked it. The story revolves around 4 brothers that have powers to control the elements, and book 1 is about Chris who can control water, and it is a paranormal romance. Loved this one. I cannot wait to get to the second one, Spark. I think that is about Gabriel, which is one of his brothers who controls fire. And Gabriel, although was not the main character in this book, was one of my favorite in the book. The next one I read was for the YT Book Club, Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson, and I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars. Although the storyline was decent, I found myself struggling to read this book. I don't know why. I liked the idea of the story, and I really, really, really wanted to like this book a lot more than I ended up liking it. But still a really good read. I possibly will get to the sequel, but probably not right away since it wasn't my favorite read this month. But yeah, I will definitely get to it. The last book I read for the month, I forced myself to finish reading, and that is My Life Next Door by Huntley Fitzpatrick. It took me forever to pick this book back up. I was seriously trying to force myself all through February to read this book, and I finally put it down after reading half of it, and then maybe like a week ago I was like, you know what, I really just need to finish this book and struggle through it. And so I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars. Although the story was really, really cute, and I did enjoy it towards the end more, but the whole pacing of the story was so slow. Again, I didn't hate it, but the pacing was just so slow. It took me so long to get into this book. That's why I gave it a lower rating. Those were all of the books that I read for the month of February. What did you guys read? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.